Words hurt. Words hurt, people.
Yes, I'm trying to get that paper.
I know, that's why I'm bringing it up.
I want that badly.
Words hurt? I saw your tweet. When they gave the Words Hurt pamphlet to us when we were on regular radio, and we smashed it.
Oh, yeah.
We got in a lot of trouble for that, actually. They were really pissed because
we weren't supposed to.
The lawyers really thought they came up with something great for all their broadcasters.
Words
and we were yelling
hurt.
and screaming. But, why listen to us? That this is really going to hurt the broadcaster and you can't do this, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know why we never saved that pamphlet. Maybe because we thought it was so ridiculous it would just go away as a dumb idea. But now everyone is going down this whole words hurt thing.
Words hurt.
So,
wow, that storm was in Wyoming, that time-lapse one?
Yeah.
That's odd because it looks like upside-down version of Devil's Tower, which is in Wyoming, from Close Encounters.
Yeah.
Something's going on.
Very good.
You think that's a coincidence?
Oh, very good.
We've had visits from extraterrestrials for years.
You fucking lunatic.
So we're trying to get the Words Hurt pamphlet.
Yeah, I would love to get that, man.
Someone at the old joint. Come on. I know you all listen.
Someone has it.
Someone has it. It's in a file over there somewhere. Get me a copy, please.
Help us out, Hendry.
Just mail it to us.
Yeah.
Unanimously. Or anonymously.
Yeah. Unanimously, too.
Anonymously.
Everyone agreeing.
Everyone send it.
Right. Everyone send it.
All these fucking Macklemore fans are really irritating. All you
You got Macklemore fans attacking you?
But also some of these cunt listeners that we have, hey, dummies. I'm not offended by Macklemore's costume. I'm not
they actually think you're offended by it?
Yeah,
well, that's what Jimmy was saying during the break, is that he was very offended by what?
I'm not offended.
None of us are offended by Macklemore's costume. We do think the guy's a dick and he's completely dishonest.
Yes, that's the irritating.
Yeah.
I'm not like, how could he defend you? I just don't believe that it was a mistake. I think he's lying.
He's totally
which is
lying.
Irritating. He wouldn't dare put on black shoe polish and an afro wig and do, hey, I was just being, he wouldn't fucking dare.
The song is Thrift Shop, and he was trying to be cartoony with it, period.
Yeah. It doesn't even make sense of saying, like, oh, the song is Thrift Shop, so it looks like I shopped at a thrift store.
No.
Well, no, it doesn't. What's with the wig and the fucking...
You decide to go Jewy for the song.
Right.
Yeah. So admit it.
Admit what you did.
And even say something like, hey, Borat got away with doing this type of thing.
Exactly.
It's entertainment, and I was going for, I was cartooning this thing.
Yeah. That's the problem. He's such a groveling worm. He's a groveling worm. And then he does something because he thinks, like, hey, this will be cool to do. And then doesn't own it.
Right.
Yeah.
And all you dopes up, but a lot of gays are sticking up for him because he defended gay people. This has nothing to do with that.
Gays are sticking up for him because he defended gay people.
Well, you know what I mean? Because he was so about,
right. Of course. But, I guess anti-Semitism is okay, though.
I don't even care if he's anti-Semitic.
Oh, I know.
I'm not bothered by that.
I wouldn't care if he was, but the hypocrisy there is just astounding.
Who's anti-Semitic?
Macklemore.
I don't think he is either.
Not at all.
I think he's just
he was going for goofy.
Yeah.
And that's what all you have to do is tell the people I was going for goofy.
We'll see how the JDL feels about that.
Whatever.
Hope they ream his ass.
Nah, they won't.
Fire him from the world of rap.
He has plausible deniability, but he's a fake maverick. And I hate fake cornball maverick. Yo, I just love everybody. Yo, I just seek approval. I seek approval from you, and I seek approval from you. Yo, I need you to approve of me. I need some street credibility.
That's so douchey.
Yo, if you want to see how real I am, just look at this thing I tweet out. I tweet out this private message I send. So I seek credibility.
Right.
But yo, you dumb motherfuckers on Twitter, just keep believing me. Yo, I've proved what a phony motherfucker I am when I wrote a sincere message and tweeted that motherfucker dog.
Yeah.
Oh,
he had to tweet
dummies. You dummies.
He had to tweet it to show everybody how sincere his fucking supposedly anonymous sincerity was going to be.
Fucking idiots on Twitter.
Yeah. So what? Who's attacking you?
Just a few people
who doesn't listen properly.
I tweeted something. My tweet was something like, it was about his
oh, Jesus.
Costume. It was, I wrote to Macklemore, I wrote, make a random costume out of black shoe polish, and a fake afro.
Right.
Oh, that's right. And then I wrote, at least own up to it, coward. That's it. Own up to it. Like, I don't, if it's a thing you did and people are asking about it, that'd be like if I did a joke at a club and somebody complained about it. One of the 9 people in attendance complained about it. And then I was like, no, I was trying to make I was saying it in seriousness. I didn't want any Just say, like, hey, yeah, I was trying to be funny or whatever. I was just doing this thing for thrift. I wouldn't have any issue with that.
That's hard to defend if you actually own up to it and say, yeah, I was dressing like a stereotypical money lender from the 30s. It is. It's like fucking...
So, for some reason, he feels safe doing that, but he would never fucking do it. He would never dare blackface. He wouldn't do it. He's a coward.
No.
Just say you did it for entertainment purposes, period. Just like movies do and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Little Shylock.
By the way...
cut off your Shylock nose and shove it up your fucking ass.
Stevie Knight just sent me this.
That means not welcome.
Stevie Knight just sent me this.
What's that?
Words Hurt, the break we did.
Really?
We could go home now.
Do words hurt?
Talk about Jennifer Aniston. I don't know. That's just where we begin. What we need to talk about right off the bat. Good morning, Jimmy.
I want everybody to have their copies in hand.
I'm grinding my teeth.
This is infuriating.
It's everything that is wrong with radio and with the political correctness and the way corporations think.
Now we've talked about radio.
What's this playing on Nucky Thompson's radio?
I think it sounds kind of cool that way, though.
A little oldie school?
Why not?
Yeah?
You don't think it sounds cool that way? By the way, this clip is an hour and 32 minutes.
Oh,
so my arm's going to get tired holding it up to the microphone.
It certainly will. I think the battery might go dead, huh?
Could someone maybe go through this and get some cuts? Because we haven't talked about this in a while.
We have it.
What?
In the system, obviously.
Stop it.
What?
The Words Hurt break.
No, I understand you have it. I know there's a better copy than playing it off my phone. I'm just saying, could someone go through it, though, and just get clips?
Because the pertinent issue is that Words Hurt.
Right.
So anything you could cull from the bit that would give us a good idea of what we blah.
Obviously, we sound like a broken record because we've been at this for a long time, but I really believe that this is very important, and we're losing the battle. Not this particular radio show, but entertainment in general.
Do you think kids know what that means anymore? Sound like a broken record?
Who knows?
I bet not.
What do they say?
You sound like a frazzled digital download.
Frazzle.
Couldn't think of a word.
This break is 8 years old. We've been at this for a long time, and we're losing.
Yeah.
In the end, we're losing.
Yeah.
We're the last ones.
Oh my God.
When we're done, that's it. No one else is going to take up this. No one's going to take up this cause. I think we're the only ones.
We're the last ones marching to the tar pit.
Name another show that's taking up the cause like this.
Scott Shannon?
No. I swear I couldn't think of one.
Number 3, Scott Shannon, you mean?
I couldn't think of one.
Number 3.
Number 3, Scott Shannon?
Good man.
Number 3, Scott Shannon.
We're number 20, Todd Pettengill.
Yeah, that is true. Todd's in 20th place, Scott's in 3rd.
And they threw Scott out, and he's killing him. It's so satisfying.
Yes.
Opie had a little chat in the corner because we got a little honest with radio.
Yeah, they don't like when you're honest.
Opie got a little talking to by Tom.
Yeah.
Our GM.
Why me? I don't know, because Ant was doing the talking as well, and Jimmy was as well. But for some reason...
I ran to the bathroom, and Jimmy shoved his face into a cereal bowl.
No. You're trying to make it sound...
Oh, God.
Yeah. I don't know. That's old school.
It's just weird hearing our voices.
What happened?
Why?
I don't know. I've always found it weird.
Talking about Tom Chiasano.
Yeah, that's so long ago now. It's
growing up with
8 years.
braces and parrots. Trying to get me fired. Boo! Fuck you. That fucking shitbot station.
Shit.
So glad it's failing.
That was like a weird time.
Yeah.
Jeez, having to fucking walk back and forth.
I actually enjoyed the walk.
I did like the walk
I didn't mind the walk.
on certain occasions.
Certain days.
Yeah.
Because some days we had nothing going on and had to make something of it. Some days it was so ridiculously cold and windy I couldn't even speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably like 20% of the walkover was cool. right?
Yeah.
About 20% maybe.
Oh, look at the video of the day. A little dog all confused by the buzzer, the foul line buzzer at a bowling alley. He's adorable. Look at him.
Why is he confused?
I don't know. He keeps, like, putting his paw on it and then freaking out. What is that about? Oh, animals on the internet. That's really going to take off, I think.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So words hurt leads us to trigger words today, right? Where's the trigger words thing?
Oh.
Trigger.
Damn it. I have a First Amendment right to my bell.
By the way, we didn't talk about this yesterday, and it's just quick. Mick Jagger is now a great-grandfather.
Well, how do you know?
A great-grandfather.
That's amazing.
So he became a grandpa, and now that kid has had a kid. Obviously, I'm explaining it to people, but but that's crazy.
And then when you watch him do a live show, it's like, how the fuck is he doing that?
He's in great shape still.
Most people his age, they're drooling in a fucking chair.
Nah, he's only 70. 70's younger these days.
There's some people that are really fucked up at 70.
Yeah, I mean, by when I'm that age, and my nickname, of course, now is Mr. Showbiz. Oh, it is.
Is it Mr. Showbiz?
Well, according to this text that I just received from Colin Quinn.
Oh.
You were right. The Teamster just told me they do put small parts in Honey Wagon. I'm an ass.
Wow.
He's right that he's an ass, and I was right about the Honey Wagon, but here's what that really shows you. That's how small my career is that I know that, and he's doing so well that
that's true.
He hasn't even heard of it.
To know that is not a good thing, Jimmy. You're right.
I'd rather be where he is and wrong.
You were right, Rupert, and we were wrong.
If there's a little room by a toilet, I'll know I have a pot.
Where is the trigger words thing, Travis? I can't find it.
Because that's like the words hurt thing, right?
It's the only thing that's stapled.
Oh.
Find the stapled story.
Oh, I'm sorry. The literary canon could make students squirm. I got you. Sorry about that. I thought it was another story. I'm dumb. Hey, maybe we could do the words hurt for a podcast.
Words hurt. That'd be a good podcast.
If there's some comedy in there.
Comedy.
Maybe we could do that. Should students about to read The Great Gatsby be forewarned about a variety of scenes that reference gory, abusive, and misogynistic violence? As one Rutgers student proposed, would any book that addresses racism, like The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn or Things Fall Apart, have to be preceded by a note of caution? Do sexual images from Greek mythology need to come with a viewer beware label? This is where we're at.
College students are these coddled little kindergartners. Coddled kindergartners.
Yeah.
Little babies.
I was doing some financial planning the other day and talking about college funds for my kids.
Yeah.
And I started looking at this guy, Barry, going, man, I'm starting to think I don't want my kids to go to college.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm hoping there's, there's different options by the time they're of college age.
Well, the world needs ditch diggers too, you know.
Yeah, they'll probably have to by that age to get any kind of job, though.
But, I mean, the costs are going up year after year, and that's not ending anytime soon, and they're teaching them horse shit. This is horse shit. Colleges across the country this spring have been wrestling with student requests. The students are forcing this issue?
They're pathetic. Boy. College students are truly pathetic.
Fucking ridiculous. Know-it-alls. You're just a know-it-all.
These are the kids that, grew up where everyone won a trophy. And this is why that was not a good thing.
What are they fucking bitching about that they want removed? Or fixed.
Just warn, because that's how real life works. Like when you're walking down the street, someone's going to go, I'll be planting a fist in your face in a moment and removing your wallet.
Oh, no, please don't do that.
Colleges across the country this spring have been wrestling with student requests for what are known as trigger warnings, explicit alerts that the material they are about to read or see in a classroom might upset them. Or, as some students assert, cause symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder and victims of rape or in war veterans.
Pathetic.
Wow. So if you're in college, you need to have a warning that there's going to be something in a book that describes something that
these kids have been coddled their entire fucking lives.
Been little baby boys and little baby girls. That's all they are. Widow babies. You're right. Everybody got a trophy. You're never wrong. It's just a lesser degree of right.
I'm already teaching my son winning and losing. We have these little competitions, and guess what? I win sometimes.
Yeah.
I do. Even though he's 4. And he goes, because he's confused that he doesn't win every time.
Like,
and I'm already trying to tell him, I'm like, no, you won the last few times, but I got you today. And then I explain, but next time you might win again.
Right.
Fuck it. That's how it should be.
That's the game of life.
Holy shit. The warnings, which have their ideological roots in feminist thought, have gained the most traction at the University of California, Santa Barbara, where the student government formally called for them.
Student government.
But there have been similar requests from students at all these other colleges, including Rutgers here locally, University of Michigan, George Washington University, and other schools.
Faithfully submitted. Douglas Niedermeyer.
The debate has left many academics fuming, saying that professors should be trusted to use common sense and that being provocative is part of their mandate. Trigger warnings, they say, suggest a certain
mandate, Jimmy.
Fragility of mind that higher learning is meant to challenge, not embrace. The warnings have been widely debated in intellectual circles and largely criticized in opinion magazines, newspapers, editorials, and academic email lists. I am getting bored by this.
Wow.
Really quickly. Really
there should be a warning on that fucking story.
I am bored.
You know what it is?
Drowsiness.
They don't create anything. Like, they create, like, bloggers write.
Yep.
But there's no one really, it seems like, doing anything that creative or interesting because their lives are, like, mostly spent online. So their idea of, like, contributing somehow is going back over shit that was already written.
Right.
And finding a way to influence it.
Well, also hashtagging a good cause. That's good. That works.
Weaklings. What mental weaklings.
You see the cartoon about the hashtag? Where somebody's getting beat up outside a window and they're all like trying to help by like saying
hashtagging it.
Yes,
that's hilarious.
How do we find that?
That's
Sam?
pretty good.
It kind of went around the last couple days. Fuck, I gotta fucking save this shit.
What a prime example of the horse shit that is the hashtag activist.
It's like somebody needs to do some. I forget. You got to see it if we can find it. If someone has it out there, please tweet it to us.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, you found it already.
Oh, God, that's funny.
Yeah, there you go. Help, please, someone do something. So you got some kind of crime going on outside, some kind of mugging, it looks like.
Yeah.
And then a whole bunch of windows looking down at the scene. And it's hashtag stand with her, hashtag ban knives, hashtag united for her, hashtag do something, hashtag do something, hashtag do something, hashtag, and then hashtag, what's the last one? Blame Bush?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I knew that looked familiar. That's a Ziggy.
No one doing a goddamn thing but hashtagging as the person's getting assaulted outside the building.
Elaine, to my archives. Yeah, that's a very accurate depiction.
Very good.
Of the hashtag activist.
So what's up with the trigger words? I don't feel like reading this whole fucking thing.
It's pathetic. Like on college campuses, some proponents are saying similar language should be used in class syllabuses or before lectures. Oh, the ones that feminist bloggers would use. It started a decade ago. Feminists, before certain, I guess, sexual assault stories would put a trigger warning, like if you've been sexually assaulted. And it's like, all right, to me, it seems to be a little bit more legitimate about writing an article on sexual assault and telling people this is what we're going to write. It maybe just read it your own, whatever.
But if the story's about, like, let's say, being assaulted or rape, the words leading up to the part that'll hurt you, will give you an indication that maybe this is
something's going to happen.
It doesn't. It makes it sound like you open the first page and it just says she was raped.
Yeah. It's,
you know what I mean?
I was walking down to the store, rape occurred. Oh no.
Why do you need a warning? You would kind of feel that out as you go and go, oh, wait a minute. I see the direction this is going, and I'm not going to read this because this is something that bothers me.
Sitting enjoying some Baskin Robbins on a nice summer day.
Right.
When he pulled his cock out and shoved it in my ass. What?
Yeah, yes, it was a mixture of vanilla and chocolate. By the way, Wellesley, this is baby boys and baby girls, I'm saying that, at Wellesley College this year.
Wellesley. Yeah.
But that used to be a girls' college, and I think that was another thing that was forced upon the people. They had to, allow the boys to go to a girls' college.
Well, the school installed a lifelike statue of a man in his underwear, and hundreds of students signed a petition to have it removed.
I remember that.
They wrote... One Wellesley student called it potentially triggering sculpture.
Potentially triggering
Well, petition signers cited concerns that it has triggered memories of sexual assault amongst some students.
Oh, my God.
And because this
we
type
are
of...
raising a nation of pussies.
Just little
We've been saying it for years.
Oh, it's so... This is embarrassing.
It really is.
Why is this okay? Is there anything else in this article?
There's a whole show.
Travis?
Dude, every line is a fucking home run.
Let's go then. Let's continue.
I hate giving you guys articles that are almost like completely highlighted, but everything's a great example. It's just example after example from different schools.
At Oberlin College in Ohio, a draft guide was circulated and was going to ask professors to put trigger words in some of their syllabuses. The guide said that it should flag anything that might disrupt the students' learning or cause trauma, including anything that would suggest the inferiority of anyone who is transgender.
Wow.
A form of discrimination known as cissexism, I guess it's called. Or uses a wheelchair. Or ableism. It's
painism.
It's really embarrassing, this place the culture is in. There's no honesty in it.
None.
There's no honesty in the way people communicate
This
anymore.
is all phoniness, yes. It's shite.
Keep going.
It says beware of racism, classism, sexism, heterosexism.
What's classism?
Probably feeling that the rich are better than the poor, the middle class are better than the poor.
We're all aware of that shit, though. Why did you have to make that into a word?
Jismism.
Well, it says sexism, ableism, and other issues of privilege and oppression. The guide said, realize that all forms of violence are traumatic, and that your students have lives before and outside your classroom. Experiences that you may not expect or understand. For example, it said, while things fall apart by, I guess the name is Chinua Achebe, it's a novel set in colonial era Nigeria, is a triumph of literature that everyone in the world should read. It could trigger readers who have experienced racism, colonialism, religious persecution, violence, suicide, and more. So these little fucking children are so afraid of reading about something unpleasant because it may trigger unpleasant feelings.
That's up to you.
And
to figure out
everything potentially.
Of course it can. Of course it can. They're coddled, hair padded little babies. They're little babies.
We didn't have green eggs and ham growing up, so this book is a trigger book. Sam, I am a douche.
Would you be?
I got you, Sam. Imagine, so fucking nailed you.
Imagine holding up your hand in a classroom when we were growing up and going, I can't read this.
Oh my God, yeah.
This is triggering some emotions.
The teacher would tell you to shut your fucking mouth, sit down and listen. And then you would get home and fucking get smacked.
You would get an atomic wedgie in the halls first.
You'd be called a faggot, which is a trigger word unto itself.
But this is acceptable now, but I just go back to being a kid and like, excuse me, this is triggering the time.
Teacher, it's triggering some things you wouldn't understand.
Well, that book, by the way, that I just mentioned, which they say is a triumph of literature.
Sure.
After several professors complained, the draft was removed from a campus website pending a more thorough review by a faculty and student task force. This is the world.
To figure out if kids can handle reading the book.
This is what you've created, you jizz buckets. Professors and campus administrators are expected to meet with students. Since when do students get to say what they should be or shouldn't read? You're told what you should read. That's what you sign up for when you go to college. Or don't go.
Shit.
They come up with a more comprehensive guide. And Meredith Raimondo, she's Oberlin's Associate Dean of College Arts and Sciences. She said the guide was meant to provide suggestions, and it's not to dictate, which is a lie, of course. Dictate. And an Associate Professor of Comparative American Studies and co-chairwoman of the task force, she said providing students with warnings would be responsible pedagogical practice, and she objects to the arguments that kids today need to toughen up. She said this absolutely misses the reality that we're dealing with. We have students coming to us with serious issues, and we need to deal with that respectfully and seriously.
Why not just take the books, you put them in a giant pile at the school, you soak them with kerosene, and then you just burn them.
Right.
That would be a good solution for these offensive books, right?
Liberals have become exactly what you hated.
Right.
You have become exactly the opposite of the conservative religious book burners of the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. You are it.
Enjoy yourself.
It has turned completely around. You are the speech repressors. You are the hypersensitive ones. You're the ones who want people fired immediately. You're the ones who call for people's jobs. You have become what you hated.
The finger pointers. Did you read the progressive of you?
You read the front page there, the bottom in yellow, Jimmy? Because that's how it all began.
It began
with Bailey Loverin, a sophomore.
Yeah, but Bailey Loverin was not even the most irritating. She's a sophomore in Santa Barbara, California, of course, and said that the idea for the campus-wide trigger
warnings...
What's her name? Bailey Loverin.
Oh, Loverin.
Yeah, Lover.
I'm your Bailey Loverin.
It was after a professor showed a graphic film depicting rape. Oh. She said that she herself had been a victim of sexual abuse, and although she felt not threatened by the film, she had approached the professor to suggest that students should have been warned. Ms. Loverin draws a distinction between alerting students to material that might truly tap into memories of trauma, such as war and torture, since many students at Santa Barbara are veterans, and slapping warning labels on famous literary works, and as other advocates of trigger words. So she at least draws a distinction between it, which is still silly.
That's not the college's responsibility. If you have those issues, you got to deal with it outside the classroom when you're not on campus. Right?
Well, why do they listen to everyone? Why don't they just tell people too bad?
Because it's not just triggering. They're obviously taking books out of circulation because of this stuff as well.
Yep.
So everyone else is affected by it.
Please. Progressives are exactly what you hated. You have become the religious concern. How did that happen?
We're not talking about someone turning away from something they don't want to see, Miss Loverin said in a recent interview. People suddenly feel a very real threat to their safety, even if it's perceived. They are stuck in a classroom where they can't get out, or if they do try to leave, it is suddenly going to be very public.
Oh, by the way, she was just saying that she didn't feel threatened.
Yeah, she did say she was all right with it.
So,
wow.
Excuse yourself.
So, among the suggestions for books that would benefit from trigger warnings are Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice contains anti-Semitism, and Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway, which addresses suicide.
That'd be suicide. Wow. That's cray.
Frankly, it seems this is sort of an inevitable movement toward people increasingly expecting physical comfort and intellectual comfort in their lives, said Greg, president of the Foundation for Individual Rights in Education. There's a foundation for individual rights in education? A non-profit group that advocates they're advocating free speech?
Really?
It's only going to get harder to teach people that there is a real important and serious value to being offended. Part of that is talking about deadly serious and uncomfortable subjects.
See?
And uncomfortable.
But see, the problem here is they're saying, but they do say in the article that they're taking books out of circulation. So it's not just these warnings. They're actually they're going further with it.
Wow.
Until they, decide with the task force if they should put the book back or not.
I bet that Huck Finn's got to go, right? That's always one that pops up every few years. Oh, we're going to edit out some words.
Well, they edited, which one was it again?
I'm guessing they took Nigger Jim out, or they called him just Jim.
They did. We did the whole bit.
Yeah.
They just don't, I don't care about these dumb books anyway.
It's
my nickname.
They're now reworking the books.
Yeah.
I don't think the authors would appreciate that.
How about this? You just don't
And they're
read
taking
those books.
the words out of the books.
Yeah. Why
got
don't they do the
turned
Bible,
into
by the way?
Slave Jim.
Jim.
That's what my report is coming in and telling me.
Yeah, that's true. We did the whole bit. That was a couple years ago now. Sabrina in Louisiana.
Hello, gentlemen. How are y'all?
Hey, man.
My thing is, I'm surprised that you're not understanding all that stuff is from California, where they do, in fact, teach elementary children that is okay and teach them how to work and do gay sex. And as I understand, in junior high and high school, they now have confused boys or girls going into either the boys or the girls' bathroom.
Why is that?
I mean, why not?
Like unisex bathrooms?
Yes, sir.
That does some kind of a gender equality thing, or
They did not. Well, from what I understand,
do they tell the boys to sit when they piss? Oh my God. My dad thought I was bad. Old pissy eyes. Imagine this day and age. He'd be smacking me every 30 seconds. Jesus Christ. Dad, that's offensive.
Right. That's a trigger.
Dad, that's a trigger word. I'll give you a fucking trigger. I'll put the barrel against your head.
Right. So you stop crying.
Yeah, old pissy eyes.
Imagine the current day, Anthony. Dad, that's a trigger.
That's a trigger. Ow!
My dad would not have accepted me coming home with trigger shit.
No.
What about the book Uncle Tom's Cabin?
Yeah, we talked about it. They took the word out, right?
That one's got to go. I mean, what they need to do is put on the library door, we have Shakespeare.
Uncle Tom's Cabin. What do they just call it? The fucking cabin? I love that cabin. Cherish the cabin.
Well, Sabrina.
Wouldn't it be the cabin of oppression now, sir?
Yes, the cabin of oppression.
I don't know what this is going to do in the end. It's crazy to me. Because in the real world, we're not following these type of rules. You kidding me? Imagine going to your boss, excuse me, boss, but that's a trigger.
That's a trigger word. How about this trigger word? You're fired.
Exactly.
Get the fuck
now
out.
You got a new trigger word.
Yeah.
2 new trigger words. You're and fired.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and not come back to work here.
Right. That's why I think this is very, very dangerous. The real world is not like the classroom.
I can't wait till they're really out there and having to live in the real world because, wow, they're not really being prepared for the fucking ass slapping they're going to get.
Our interns have been better of late, but we've seen it in the last few years. These kids come in completely entitled and like, all right, so when do I do my fucking show?
Yeah,
Get here a week, man. Right?
It embarrasses our age group because we weren't allowed to, cry if we didn't win. If we said something, we got in trouble.
Can't you picture how Sabrina looks? I got an image in my head. Something from one of those domestic disturbances on Cops.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's kind of what
I'm thinking. She used to be a looker, though.
Did you used to be a looker?
I'm thinking kind of like a Goldie Hawn type. That didn't age well.
Why don't I do this, gentlemen?
Yeah.
I have a 38 D chest, a 27-inch waist,
right,
and 29 inch hips.
Oh, 49, you said?
No, 39.
Oh, 39? I thought. Do you have a Facebook?
No, sir. I'm sorry.
How old a gal are you?
I'm 40.
Oh, okay.
Joe in Massachusetts.
Hey, how's it going?
It's pretty good, Joe.
Oh, my.
Is that hilarious?
That one never gets old.
I never expect it.
That's one of my favorite ones.
Oh, that is a good one.
There's many different types of hang-ups. That's one of my favorites.
She did sound like a heavy smoker.
Nah, she sounded cool, though.
Let me tell you something.
Joe, what do you got, buddy?
I live in western Massachusetts near Smith College in Northampton. It's an all-girls college. And this spring, a group of students started a petition to have their commencement speaker for graduation step down.
Why?
Because they disagreed with her views. Because she was a successful businesswoman who she dealt with certain industries that they disagreed with and were offended by.
Yeah.
And they got enough petitions where she just said, fuck it, and she stepped down and she just quit because she didn't want to deal with their bullshit.
The graduation speech. I forgot who I had the guy that was the author that did all those weird things.
Yeah.
Like he was a football guy for a while. And then he was like, I don't know, a helicopter pilot.
Wow.
What's his name? Gray hair.
Oh.
Fucking,
a football guy, helicopter pilot? George Plimpton?
George Plimpton.
George Plimpton was your guy?
Yeah.
It's your boy.
It's like a half hour. It's like, whatever. This is cool. All right.
Just spoke.
Let's go party now.
Yeah.
Fuck. Who cares about the graduation speaker in the end?
Well, Condoleezza Rice was...
As you go into the real world... Upon this day.
Some may look at this as an ending.
Right.
An ending to your high school years. But it's also a beginning.
We are planting the seeds today.
As you enter the world.
Right. For our future leaders, may you.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there like, will you shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Go to the in-between for the last time and get myself shit-faced. What happened, Joe?
Oh, sorry.
So, the whole idea is just that, they didn't even want to be possibly offended by anything she could say. So they're actively now trying to stop anybody from bringing any type of reality to the situation.
I would be so embarrassed if I was one of these pussies. But I guess there's so many pussies around you don't even notice you're a pussy anymore. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's
you don't even realize you're a pussy because everyone else is a pussy?
This is the mentality of these people.
Thank you, Joe.
There's someone on Twitter who I just addressed, this Buddhist punk, you scumbag. 10-year Detroit firefighter, now duty disabled, and more, and then hashtag liberal, of course. And then here's what this person tweets. Listening to Anthony Cumia, Jim Norton, Opie Radio, and O&A Show, making light of rape survivors, rape culture, campus rape, and trigger warnings.
Is that what we did?
This entire
Not
break
making fun of rape, you stupid
has
fuck.
been about attacking the soft mentality of college students, and we were attacking trigger words. But this fucking liar, says that.
Because they can't handle the truth. So they got to exaggerate what we're saying.
But to be that stupid, to hear what we said about the rape, reading and you don't understand the rape, about the warnings, we are mocking the idea of trigger words, but this fucking liar says that we're mocking rape culture and rape. It's like, that's what you're dealing with.
That's what we deal. Yeah,
thank you, Buddhist. Thank you for putting liberal in your hashtag.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Good.
That's the mentality.
We all dealt with our shit growing up, and mine, I came from a poor family that was in an upper middle class neighborhood, and I had a mentally ill mom, and through the classroom, I never thought to myself that I needed a trigger word because we might be touching on those type of topics.
Right.
It might have reminded me of some shit or whatever, but nothing where I had to fucking go suck on someone's tit. You had your shit growing up, and can you imagine going, excuse me?
I don't like that. I was very uncomfortable with my parents getting a divorce when I was a kid.
Sure.
And anytime movies would always come on, or discussions and stuff, because I was 10 years old or something like that, and it would always give me like this, and
it would show a happy family or whatever,
right, and I'd be like,
loving parents. But now imagine raising your hand going, this is
I'm uncomfortable with this, it's a trigger.
Oh my God, that's embarrassing. You deal with your own shit outside the fucking classroom.
Yeah, shove it down. Yeah.
Piss.
Oh.
As we leave here today. Really?
Most of you will go to Vietnam. Right. Some of you will not be coming home.
Right.
How about that for a fucking commencement?
And you're sitting there just thinking, man, I hope my fucking uncle's going to put a little extra in that fucking envelope.
Right? That's all you're
my graduation card.
Yeah.
And God, I hope we got a reservation at that restaurant.
Yeah.
They're not listening to Jesus. As we soar,
as you spread your wings to leave the nest.
Right.
All these stupid fucking hacky lines. Oh, man.
Oh, Christ. It's all bullshit, people. To the young people, it's all just bullshit.
I hope it's like most generations where, you know, the older generation will always look at the younger generation and think they're a bunch of assholes.
Sure.
There's this know-it-all mentality. And hopefully most of them grow up and realize, oh, wow, was I a dick? Was I a fucking asshole back then?
Yeah, I'm sure some of that's at play here, but I keep going back to the fact that like what they're teaching in the schools doesn't match up with the real world, and that's a major problem.
Yes.
Because it's all about the money and stuff, so they don't give a fuck if they're triggering emotions in you.
Not a flying fuck.
And you're not going to be prepared to handle that properly. When you do have a boss that goes, yeah, good for you, go fuck yourself. I need this done today. I don't care. It's triggering some stupid emotion from when you were growing up. They don't care. And that's, I think that's going to be a major problem as we move forward.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. We got Kurt Metzger here, and we all got to pee, so.
Yeah.